Bob, we need to address the title of this episode, the biggest scam in human history. You know my audience. They're thinking Bernie Madoff, they're thinking FTX, maybe Enron. Amateurs, Bob. Those guys were amateurs. Madoff stole $65 billion. The scam I'm talking about steals trillions every single year from the people listening to this podcast. And the worst part, it's completely legal. Okay, that's a heavy opener. Who's the scammer? The bank where you keep your checking account, the Federal Reserve, the entire concept of modern money. Okay, I bank with Chase. Are you telling me if I walk into a branch right now, my money isn't there? I'm telling you that if everyone who banked at Chase walked in today to get their cash, the bank would collapse by lunchtime. Because they lent it out? No, that is the lie they tell you in school. You think banking works like a coat check room, right? You give them your money, they hold it, maybe lend it to someone else, and you get it back later. Right. I deposit $1,000, they lend that $1,000 to a guy buying a car. They charge him 5%, give me 1%, they keep the spread. Simple business. That is not how it works. That hasn't been how it works for 300 years. When you deposit $1,000, they don't lend your money. They use your money as a legal excuse to create new money. Create it? Like print it? Type it. It's digital. It's called fractional reserve banking, but I prefer to call it the magician's wallet. Look at this diagram. In our current system, for every dollar you deposit, the bank is allowed to create, out of thin air, up to $10 of credit to lend to someone else. Wait, pause. If I deposit $1,000, they can lend out $10,000? Effectively, yes, through the multiplier effect. They create money that did not exist 5 seconds ago. They charge interest on that fake money, and if you can't pay it back, they take your real house. That sounds illegal. That sounds like counterfeiting. If you do it in your basement, it's a felony. If a bank does it, it's called liquidity. Okay, how did we get here? Because I assume in the old days, money was actual stuff, gold coins, silver. You couldn't just type a gold coin into existence. Exactly. To understand the scam, we have to go back to 17th century London, the goldsmiths. The guys making jewelry? Right. Back then, gold was money. But gold is heavy, it's easy to steal, and it's annoying to carry. So people started leaving their gold in the goldsmith's safe. The goldsmith would give them a paper receipt. I owe you 1 gold coin. Okay, that's a banknote. Correct. And people realized, hey, I can just trade these paper receipts instead of going back to get the gold every time. The paper became money. Seems efficient. Where's the scam? The scam started when the goldsmiths realized something. They noticed that on any given day, only about 10% of the people ever came back to claim their actual gold. The gold just sat there gathering dust. So they started writing more receipts? Exactly. They started writing loan receipts for gold they didn't have. If they had 100 gold coins in the vault, they might issue 500 paper claims. They were lending out gold that did not exist and collecting interest on it. But that works until it doesn't, until everyone shows up at once. Precisely. That is a bank run, and that is the terrifying foundation of our entire modern economy. It is a confidence game. It only works as long as we all agree not to ask for our money at the same time. This is a photo from 1929. This is what happens when the illusion breaks. People banging on doors, realizing their life savings was just a number on a ledger. So, are you saying modern banks are just glorified goldsmiths playing with receipts? It's worse, because the goldsmiths at least had some gold. Today, since we went off the gold standard in 1971, there is no asset in the vault. It's just debt, all the way down. Let's bring this to the present day. I want to understand how this affects me. Let's say I buy a house. I go to the bank for a $500,000 mortgage. Where does that money come from? This is the part that makes people angry, Bob. Really listen to this. I'm listening. When you sign that mortgage paper, you think the bank is looking into its vault, taking $500,000 of other depositors' savings and handing it to the seller of the house. Right. Grandma's savings funds my mortgage.
Wrong. The moment you sign your name, the bank creates a liability and an asset on their balance sheet. They simply type $500,000 into the seller's account.
They just type it?
They type it. That money did not exist in the economy before you signed that paper. You and the bank created it together. But here is the kick in the teeth. You have to work for the next 30 years trading your blood, sweat, and time to pay back the principal plus interest on money the bank created in 3 seconds by clicking a mouse.
That feels like indentured servitude.
It is. You are trading your finite time for their infinite fake money.
So, if they can just create money, why do they charge me interest? Why do they need my payments?
To keep up the illusion of value. If they just gave it away, the currency would collapse instantly. The debt is what gives the money value. The dollar is literally an IOU. If we paid off all the debt in the world, Bob, do you know what would happen?
What?
There would be no money left. Every dollar in circulation is someone else's debt. Look at this chart. This is the M2 money supply. Look at the vertical line in 2020. We printed 40% of all dollars in existence in just 2 years. Did you get 40% richer?
No, my groceries just got 40% more expensive.
That's the other side of this coin, inflation. We're told inflation is caused by supply chains or Putin or greedy corporations, distractions. Inflation is purely a function of the money supply. Imagine we're at an auction for a painting. There are 10 of us, and we each have $10. The painting will sell for roughly $10.
Okay.
Now imagine a guy in a suit walks in, the Federal Reserve, and hands everyone an extra $100. The painting doesn't change. It's the same painting. But now, what does it sell for?
$110.
Exactly. The price went up, but the value didn't. When the bank creates that mortgage money we talked about, or when the Fed prints trillions for a stimulus package, they're watering down the soup.
So my savings account, the money I worked for, is worth less because they printed more for someone else.
Correct. It's a hidden tax. If the government taxed you 10% directly, you'd riot in the streets. But if they print money and cause 10% inflation, you blame the grocery store. It's the perfect crime.
It's theft.
It's Cantillon effect.
The what?
Richard Cantillon, 18th century economist. He realized that when new money is created, it enters the economy at a specific point. Usually Wall Street and the banks get it first. They get to spend the new money before prices go up.
So the rich get the money at 2024 value, and I get it at 2026 value.
Exactly. The system is designed to transfer wealth from the people who hold cash, the poor and middle class, to the people who hold assets and debt, the rich.
This is depressing, Nick. It feels like we're running on a hamster wheel. The bank creates the money, charges us interest, we work to pay it back, and the inflation eats our savings. Is there a way out, or are we just doomed?
You can't stop the machine, Bob. The system requires inflation to keep from collapsing. But you can step off the tracks. How? Stop saving in fiat currency. Stop saving in the thing they can print for free.
So, back to the goldsmiths?
In a way, you need assets that have proof of work, things that cannot be typed into existence. 1. Gold. It takes energy and time to mine. 2. Real estate. You can't print land. 3. Bitcoin. It has a fixed supply cap. Math dictates there will only ever be 21 million.
So become your own bank.
Exactly. If you hold your wealth in dollars, you are trusting the Federal Reserve not to steal from you. If you hold hard assets, you are trusting physics and math. I prefer math.
That's a powerful place to end it. The biggest scam isn't illegal, it's the law. Nick, thanks for blowing my mind and probably making me close my savings account.
Just don't do it all at once, Bob.